typical wedding plan stuff. My boss didn't even want to let me like leave work early. Like, and I was going to make up the hours at the beginning of the week. I was like, I'll just work more at the beginning of the week to get stuff done for a bachelorette party for my bridal shower. I was like, you bitch, like, I'm not going to get married 8 times in my life. Like, this is only one time. Why can't I take off? So I'm Jade Greene. Currently, I am a porn star and erotica author. In my past, I used to be a beauty queen as well as a professional cheerleader for the Washington Caps. So I've been in the industry for quite a while, and a lot of people didn't know because I started when I was 21 as a dancer to help me get through school, help me pay for pageants, quite honestly. And it's interesting because I always went back to it in between jobs, also as like supplemental income when I like really needed the extra money on top of my 9 to 5. There were points in my life where I did both. And it's funny because when I put my dancing shoes away, I kind of assumed it was over for me. But then I started writing erotica in my late 20s. I finished my first book at 30. I loved it so much, but I wanted more people to like see it. And I figured, why not start an OnlyFans? So right after I started erotica writing, I became an OnlyFans girl. And then about 2 years into me being an OnlyFans girl, I made the jump into porn. I was like, I really want my books to like get out there, and I love sex. So why not combine two interests and help get my sales up? And it ended up being a really good fit for me.
That's just like the path that your career has taken is just incredible. As you stated, like a dancer just to help get by and help with extra bills, a cheerleader for a major sports team, and then now you like it's utterly incredible. You are probably one of the most busybody people I have interviewed in the longest time. And I say that out of respect. Like, I am all about the hustle. There's not a single day off for me as well. And I love every minute of it. So kudos to you for like chasing your dream, seeing the connections and just going along with it. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
How did you become a cheerleader though for the Washington Caps?
You know what's weird is that was also one of those things. So I was a dancer all my life.
Okay.
I was so lucky and privileged to take ballet, tap, and jazz lessons from when I was 2 years old to 18. So I was really in the thick of it. And I did like state competitive level. I did national, not for my school, but for a private dance company that actually, funny enough, competed against everybody's favorite or least favorite dance company, Abby Lee Miller. We did compete against them.
Wow.
And sometimes we won, sometimes we lost. They're a very strong company. So as expected, they do dominate competitions. And I was always kind of told, like, from everyone, I mean, that, teachers, even some of my best teachers, some of my strongest mentors, that like dancing, it's one of those things where it's like, you're never going to last long in it. It's a pipe dream. Like, it doesn't really lead anywhere. Like, nobody, and they're kind of right. It's very hard for a professional dancer, like out of stripping, like a professional ballerina to go from a Rockette to Broadway. It's just not likely. They might be amazing at dancing, but they don't have the singing and acting skills to make that transition over into a thing. So it was a dead dream for me for a long time. And I remember one of my friends, or a few of my friends actually, were cheerleading like out of the pageants. It was interesting. There was a lot of crossovers of pageant girls that went into cheerleading because a lot of us love sports. Some of us just love dance. Some of us love both. And I was really encouraged by them, like seeing my friends doing it and seeing it as a more obtainable goal, a more relatable thing I could do for fun versus like this, I don't know, this weird pedestalized thing in my youth where it's like, you can dream about being a Rockette, but you'll never become one. And it's like, I really hated that attitude. Like, and I tell people this all the time, that you just don't know what you're capable of. I didn't think I would be on that cheerleading squad. And the funny thing is I was the first girl to be called. It's in my, yeah, like it's in my records that I was the first
call
one
out
to get called. Yep.
Wow.
And it was such an honor because like for the judges to do that, like especially on these big cheerleading squads, that means that like when they were going to pick the girls and they were like, well, who is the most deserving of this? That was me. And I mean, I didn't just go and show up and audition. I actually had spent the year, like a year and a half before that, with a coach, with a dance teacher. I was taking dance workshops, and I really had to shake the rust off because I was out of practice 10 years. Like, I
Holy.
made the cheerleading squad when I was 27, and I stopped competitive dance at 18. So it was arguably one of the coolest and biggest like comebacks
Yeah.
of my adult life. And I was sad they didn't continue it. Like, the reason why I didn't continue is because they got rid of the squad. So my year was the last year the squad existed, which was really sad. I probably would have gone back. And it was still so cool though. Like, I cherish that, being a part of that group and like getting to watch like my favorite sports teams, which is the Washington Capitals, too. Yeah, do that for work. That was cool.
That is a massive, like, that's massive credit to who you are and your skill, because being the first call out for a situation like that, like, you are essentially like the keystone. Like, this is where we want to start, and we're going to build around her and go from there, which is amazing. And also, like, shows your dedication to your craft, your skill, your conviction. It just like going all out, and like, I need a coach. I need to get the ring rust off. I need to get back into shape. And it is true. Like, you never truly do know what you're capable of until you do it or you try it. And there's never a guarantee of success. And you personify that in so many different levels. Like, a marathon runner on top of everything else is amazing. My cardio is shit. Like, like,
I'm sorry.
No. That's because like different skill sets, right? Like, at one point in time, I was able to get a brisk jog in for like a half an hour. Now I'm more into weight training. So like, it's 2 minutes, 2 minutes jogging, 1 minute rest for high impact hit, whatever the hell my coach calls it. But
hit, that's a really good weight training. That's one of my favorites when I do. So I get that. That's not an easy workout whatsoever.
no, it's not. But I have no idea what it's like to run a marathon. My girlfriend does. She's done it successfully quite a few times. You're like on your 11th, or you've done 11?
So this will be my 11th. I've done 10. And James, I'm going to tell you this. If your girlfriend's a marathoner, you better be giving her a nice little foot rub.
Without question. Her feet go up onto my lap on the couch nightly. It happens.
As it should be. As it should be. It's fun for me, but I also don't take, like, I've never been an elite runner, and I'm good at continuously going back to these races and scheduling races, doing the training. But I'm also I'm very safe and cautious with my body. So like, I'm not trying to qualify for Boston. I'm not trying to get a sponsorship. I always joke with my friends and family. I'm like, I wish they sponsored like mediocre runners. Cause like, but for me, like, I want to go far and not necessarily fast. And there are people that do both. Kudos to them. They are professional level runners. But for me, it was really a coping mechanism, fun little hobby, cool way to see the world, all wrapped into one little event. Because I'm a big tourist. I like to travel. But one thing that annoys me about travel sometimes is, like, we tend to see like health and fitness kind of take a decline and not worry. I love combining both. Like, I love the fact that I go to a new city. I've never seen the city in the same light before as those 26 miles on the ground through my own eyes. But like, it's a big event where I share that commonality with so many people. And that too, like, there's so many benefits to just going out and trying a marathon. Like, not only do you get extra motivation, you feel good about yourself, more longevity, good cardio, but you also get to meet other nerds that love the same sport as you. And you can chat up. It's so cool because I actually have made friends in the porn industry that have run marathons. And you can spot us a mile away because we'll just be yapping about Chicago Marathon 2005, Dina Castor winning, or like the Olympics this year, Connor Mance is on track to be our next Olympic champion. Like, just, it's such a cool feeling because it's definitely its own like subculture of people for sure.
Mm-hmm. There really is no like, and I might be a little bit controversial to say, but there really is no difference between nerds and jocks because it is all about a passion for one specific thing. And also, you had this story in your head that you wanted to share with the world with these books, Disorderly Conduct. How did, like, you're honestly the first published author slash adult film star I have ever had the pleasure of speaking with. How did this come to be?
Oh, I always joke that it's like I um I am an introvert, and I think it's obvious why I'm an introvert because like I'm having a blast with my hobbies. Like I am when I'm alone running, I'm having a great time, even when it hurts. Like, and same with books. Like when I'm really writing, I don't struggle to find inspiration because and this might sound so unconventional. It might even sound toxic. I love digging deep and like, yeah, finding the best memories, but also finding the worst memories. And I like mentally bombarding myself and like crying while I'm writing, letting myself fully feel because I feel like it gives me validation, like internal, I'm giving myself validation to feel, but it's also giving me a nice little channel and an outlet for that energy. So I'm not just like crying into the ethers, I'm making it into art that's going to outlive me. Like one day I won't be around, but my books will, and they'll be around for a very long time until publishing stops existing. So that's a big motivation. And then I do enjoy writing. Like for me, the writing part comes easy. It's the publishing part that I am a brat over. I hate publishing. I think it's the worst process ever. And I warn people like the writing part, to me at least, is way easier than buying the ISBNs, making sure your trademark's correct, making sure you have everything you need, the formatting, the templating, the cover design, all that stuff I hate. But the writing, for the love of it, I write for sure.
The publishing is something I'm completely oblivious about. Like I just know it happens, but that's an outsider looking in. So it must be like full of legalities, convoluted, like a whole bunch of red tape. And it's clearly got to be frustrating. Maybe that's some of the dark feelings that you pull from, like inspiring you to write more. Exactly.
Ruining the day for sure, for sure. Well, I'll give you an example. So sure. I hate the fact that Audible doesn't allow you to publish audiobooks that have not already been published in manuscript form, whether that be ebook or printed book on Amazon. Well, that's ridiculous because what if I'm a poet who I have no plans of writing and I don't care if somebody reads an ebook of mine, but I'm a poet who wants my spoken word to be put out there, or a voice actor who just wants to like sample my work. Like, I don't understand why Audible doesn't allow people to just freely publish. So like that was one of the first things I learned that really angered me because it's like, okay, so I not only do you have to write, like in order to just get on Audible, yeah, you have to write an entire book, get it edited, because the editing process, that process isn't too bad because you always outsource it to somebody else. But then you have to reread the edits and make sure it's okay just to read the entire manuscript how you want it to be read in ACX. And I got to a point with my first book. My second book, I haven't put out an audiobook yet, but my first book, there is an audiobook out for college edition. I was getting so pissed at like hearing any inconsistencies, like say if I deviated from the script, because they'll cut your audiobook for that. Like if you are not speaking word for word the script, they'll send it back to you like, oh, we found errors. So I got to a point where I was getting so frustrated. When I was done, I just edited my final manuscript, republished it on Amazon, and then was like, haha, screw you, Audible, and put my thing, and it finally got approved. But yeah, like, and the audiobook stuff, learning audio engineering just to get one audiobook out was pure madness. But the writing stuff, I wish I could just like write and run all the time and just do that. But sadly, I do want other people to see it. And if you want other people to see it, you have to go through the painstaking crap of publishing.
I understand you want people to, of course, like see your work and be inspired by, or at least enjoy what the story that you want to share. So what was the, like, I get it, but what was the thought process going from published author to OnlyFans account?
Well, my book is erotica and it's all about sex. And I kind of liked the idea of an erotica book, like a not a romance, an erotica, because my protagonist is more slutty than she is romantic. Like if you read my book, you'll see what I mean. She cares very little about like love. She wants fame, she wants sex, she wants money.
She wants
A
power.
boyfriend,
She wants power.
yeah,
She
she
wants
wants
control.
power. Yes.
Yes.
She, that's what she wants. And for me, like it it did tie because I started having like beta readers that were males, for example, and they were liking it. They were like, this is actually like really cool. And I love that. I love that I have a non-binary erotica that is LGBTQ focused. Like I'm a queer female. So there's there's trans characters, there's gay characters, there's lesbians, there's bi, there's straight. I tried representing all spectrums and the message of it's totally okay and cool to let your freak flag fly. Like it's okay to be proud of your sexuality. And obviously there's a time and a place for it, but when you're in intimate settings, that's absolutely the place for it. You should feel free in your own sexuality when you're expressing yourself to an intimate partner or even a hookup. Like it should be more about fun than necessarily trying to appear sexy or trying to appear a certain way versus like the pleasure aspect. So I really wanted to drive that home with my audience. And OnlyFans was perfect because I could like live out certain fantasies of mine, and it started to get on that topic. Guys and my fans would ask me like, oh, well, what's your fantasies? And I'd bring up the book and I'd be like, well, definitely read my book because a lot of my fantasies are right there, smack dab on the pages for you to read and enjoy. And OnlyFans was really cool too because I started as solo lesbian creator, and then once I moved into porn, I was starting to do like BG collabs, and I got to experience so many things I probably would have never experienced outside of the world. And I mean, I had a bunch of brushes. Like before porn, I had brushes with like group play and like orgies and stuff like that. So I did experience that type of shit, but it's cool that in this industry with creators, you can really go all out and like fantasize the weirdest things and bring it to life on camera. So I like having both. I like having all media channels covered here with sex.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. It totally makes sense. So I just find it so wild that you've taken these steps and you've been able to thread all this stuff together. You stated before that like marathon running and writing is a very solo. You're there alone with yourself, going through something exhausting like writing, or or you're running a marathon, but you're still there with your own thoughts. So to branch out and then find a community, make that connection through OnlyFans is commendable again to, your spirit as well as your drive to make that connection and to know that there are people out there who feel the same way or are at least like sitting there going like, I've been waiting for this. This is how I thank you for putting this down on paper, which is probably like, I guess I can only imagine is something that happens on a regular basis now.
Well, and I encourage people like I I try to keep it separate from mainstream porn, but with OnlyFans specifically, like if a guy wants to like be proud of what he's got and like for him he's an exhibitionist. I have a lot of exhibitionist fans. And I had one fan that like he's a regular, he's such a sweetheart, and he just wants to show what his mama gave him. And I encouraged him the other day. I was like, why don't you just start like an OnlyFans gallery? Like even if it's just for fun, like exhibitionism, it's a kink and it's all about showing off. Like I am an exhibitionist and my fans love that. It's a very enjoyed aspect, I think, of my brand, mutually enjoyed. And I preach it for other people too. Like I don't hold the double standard. I think anybody who's an exhibitionist or a voyeurist within the confines of like safety and making sure what they're doing is legal, of course. Like, yeah, show off. Or, if you're a voyeurist and you're not necessarily into the exhibitionism, have a good time at a swinger party. I'm sure people would be cool with it.
So the big step, at least in my mind, because like you've already taken massive steps in your life, your personal life, your career, but the big step of making it into mainstream adult film, how did that come to be?
I fully blame.
Blame is a good word. That's fine. Yeah.
Fully blame and credit XBiz 2024 XBiz 2 because yeah, that's where it all began. I didn't get signed there, but I went there as an erotica author and as a also as like an OnlyFans creator. I just wanted to meet people. You know, I knew that living in a silo online wasn't the way to go about making networks and like getting more group content or like whatever. So I wanted to make sure like I want to make sure I meet people I drive with, but I also get to know the industry. So I used that opportunity to go. I was really shy and nervous because I went alone and this was XBiz Miami. So as you know, like different conventions, different purposes. XBiz Miami is kind of like, in my opinion, it's like the creator director party. It's like the holiday party, the summer holiday party, because it's not so much about fans. There's not as many fans there. There's not as many like business vendors there, but there are a ton of like talent, directors, producers, indie people that are collabing with pro people or collabing with other indie people. And that was an experience. Everybody was so nice to me. I don't think I had a bad conversation in the group of tens to maybe hundreds of people I met that weekend. And it was funny because at the same time that was going on, I had ironically taken off for my day job. I was still in my day job of accounting. A lot of people don't realize that. Like I was an OnlyFans girl for years while I had day jobs. Like they don't notice. Like I feel like unless you're a top 1% and you are all over the internet, it's way easier to get away with having an OnlyFans and a normal job than, of course, mainstream porn, where you are being exposed to like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, millions in some case. And it was one of those defining moments where my boss was being a total bitch to me. And I had taken off, like I had taken the time off. And when I realized that it's like, I can't even count on my PTO, I can't count on my time being off just to be respected. I really had it at that point. Like I really had it. And I gave the finance and accounting world a little bit over a decade of my life working with corporations as well as a nonprofit, mostly government. I mostly worked with government organizations. And it really clicked in that moment that they're never going to give a shit about, and they're never going to give a shit about what I want and my needs. Even when I give them advance notice, I'm not talking. It's not like I asked her for weeks off. I told this chick in advance, like, I'm taking these 2 days off. I'm, doing my own thing. I'm having a good time. It's my staycation. And then for her to be like, well, like, there's like work to do. Like, you can't really take off after she'd already approved it. Like, this was the day of. I was like, I got to a point where I think it was like probably a month after that or like 2 or 3 weeks later, I came back and just like returned my laptop and just like.
And I'm done.
Yeah, I didn't even give her notice. And when HR asked me, I straight up told them, I was like, it's really messed up of you people to tell your workers that they've earned PTO and not be able to use it. But I see this all the time, like even now with corporate America in the past 12 years of my career before porn, when I was in it, that it's like some bosses are great. I love those bosses. I appreciate them so much, but most of them don't give a fuck about you. So it's like, I would rather just work for myself and figure it out and bust my ass to, maybe make ends meet versus getting paid as much. But the irony is now that I'm in mainstream porn, especially, I'm out earning myself. So it's funny because I came into this, like, especially OnlyFans, where I was like, oh, like it might be a pay cut, but I'll have a better quality of living. And in the end, it was just a win-win. I ended up with a higher income, more flexibility, and happier. Like, so important to me.
It is so wild. And it's not strict, like I'm in Canada, you're in the US. It is so wild because the whole PTO thing, the personal time off, it is wild because like I do know people, including myself, where if I book time off, it's off. Right? Like if
that's how it should be.
Yeah. If I look at my text messages, if I look at my email, that is on my time. I'll answer you if and when I get the opportunity. But again, in Canada and in the US, there are some people out there, some bosses, some managers or whatever, who are like that. It's like, okay, so you have the time off, but keep your phone on. Like, no, fuck you. Like, this is my time. I have earned this.
And I worked on so many vacations. You have me having flashbacks now, man. Like,
I'm sorry.
I think about all the vacations that I worked on, and it's like, why? Like, why did I do that? I remember one job. I was getting married, so I'm married, very happily married for it's almost 7 years, 12 years total. He's fucking awesome. But when I was dealing with, typical wedding plan stuff, my boss didn't even want to let me like leave work early. Like, and I was going to make up the hours at the beginning of the week. I was like, I'll just work more at the beginning of the week to get stuff done for a bachelorette party for my bridal shower. It's like, you bitch, like, I'm not going to get married 8 times in my life. Like, this is only one time. Why can't I take off? And now it's nice because, yeah, I might get some hemming and hawing from a fan here or there about me taking off now, but it's not the same as a boss controlling your income and controlling your position in the company who holds your time hostage over you. Like, it is pretty insane to me that they're allowed to even do that. That shouldn't be allowed.
No, it should not be. And it's unfortunate, but at the same time, we are dealing with people, and we are dealing with people who are wired a certain way. Like, I'm not defending them, but at the same time, like, I have had so many bosses. I've been fully employed for 30 years, right? Job after job after job. So like, I've worked underneath different bosses, different managers, different organizations. And while there are absolute dirtbags of humans out there, there are also bosses who are like bend over backwards for you because they honor and respect and appreciate who you are and what you do for them.
See, those are the ones I would do anything for them.
Yeah.
That's what the bad ones don't understand is they think like you whip people and they'll do what you want when it's like, no, like all you have to do is be respectful and be polite to people, treat them with kindness that you would expect back. And you'll have a staff of people who will do whatever the hell you want. Yeah. Just be loyal to them.
Yeah. I'm going off a tangent here, but my biggest pet peeve is whenever a boss messes up or makes a mistake or something like that, and they can't own up to it. Like, you're fucking human. You're not on a pedestal. Yeah, I understand you're in a position of power and position of responsibility, but you're allowed to make a mistake. At the very least, say, my bad, that's on me, let's move forward. And some bosses can't do that.
I love that chick. You've probably seen her, the cartoon chick on YouTube, Veronica.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love her. Whoever does that cartoon, I think it is masterfully, beautifully done from the perspective of all like normal corporate people. Yeah, for sure.
I find it so fun too that like there's so many people out there who have an OnlyFans account who call themselves accountants, and while you were an accountant.
As a literal accountant, yeah.
So every once in a while, I can only imagine there have been times where like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm an accountant. And you're like, okay, which one?
Like a CMA or a CPA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we can talk shop. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, and oh my gosh, I'm glad I have my background though, like coming into this world, because like the number one advice I have for any girls, whether it's OnlyFans or starting their own company in another industry, like financial planning is so important, and like having the discipline to budget, making sure you're investing, because like I wish high schools taught that. And I think it's so unfair that in the United States, you do have to go get an accounting degree or a finance degree to learn basic things like how to process taxes, like how a 401k works, how an IRA works. And that stuff, I understand, like if we're talking about venture capitalism, big picture, like management accounting, as they call it, versus public accounting, fine. Like that totally should be taught in college. But like doing your taxes, investing in yourself, personal finance, that should 100% be taught in high school. But, we're not there yet. So maybe one day as a society, we'll do the right thing.
Again, like drawing parallels between Canada and the US, there was an elective in my high school. It was like grade 12. It was an elective all about personal finance, stocks and investments and retirement. And this was admittedly brought forth by the teacher saying like, look, I have the spare time. Allow me to at least offer this up. He booked the class and it filled up within an hour. And
Really? Wow.
and it was like, I don't know if he did it after my grade 12 year, because that was the first year he did it. But I was like, sign me the fuck up, because this doesn't make any sense. I don't need to know how to make how to sew together a pencil purse. I need to know how to fucking retire.
Yeah. And insurance, like how to navigate insurance, because not every workplace, it seems like more and more commonly, less workplaces are even providing some form of health insurance. So it's important to teach kids like, hey, like when you're older, like there's certain financial things you need to learn just to live. I mean, just to live, you need health insurance at some point. Like, so I'm passionate about that. And I keep one of my projects that I have not done yet, but maybe I will soon, because this reminded me, is one of the things I keep wanting to do is I have a website, for just my brand as an author and as a porn star. But I would love to do like a financial blog where I like talk about some of that stuff, because I am qualified. I have a master's in finance. So like nothing would be like exact specific financial advice, but it'd be like tips and tricks, knowing the information behind like what's the difference between like filing an LLC versus a sole proprietorship. What's the difference between a C corp and an S corp? What, like, those are things that you don't think are a big deal until you're trying to start whatever that is, and you realize, oh shit, I need an articles of organization. What's that? Like, what's that? What's the agent in the article of organization? Like, just those little things that I think could be so useful for new porn stars. And I mean porn stars who wanna do some more commercial stuff, selling merch.
Well, numbers are numbers too. Like that can be translated to damn near anything. Anyone who has a side hustle, anyone who is just trying to figure out what this means on a piece of paper that could dictate how comfortable their next year is or next 5 years is. So that sounds like a brilliant idea. You should absolutely, when you have the free time, for crying out loud.
Right? I really want to. Well, and I actually, a lot of people didn't know this about me. So I, weird flex,
Sure.
my weirdest flex.
Sure.
I'm really good at doing my own taxes. Now, I never got a CPA because I was working for the government and CMA, but I knew how to do taxes. So I always did my own. And this was the first year I didn't. And it was I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a moment where I felt out of control, because I was like, wait, I'm not doing this for myself anymore. What's happening? Like, this isn't normal. But before, I was so used to doing it because it was easier. Like when you're in obviously if you're in a W-2 situation or like own a house with that, like you have smaller assets. It's not like I'm doing it for like a multi-million corporation. I'm just doing it for me, an individual, me and my husband. And it was so funny because I think it was like right before porn the last year, they said I had it wrong. The government came back at me and said, you were wrong. And I got really pissed. So I paid the amount that I was off by. I think it was like a couple $100s. So I was like, whatever. So I paid them a couple $100. And then I get a letter 5 months later that's like, tee, just kidding. Your numbers were correct. Here's your refund for the incorrect amount. And I was like, yeah. Mama said so. Mama damn told you so, IRS. I know what the hell I'm doing.
That's like, if I was in your position, like that check would never be cashed. It would be mounted on the wall.
I should have kept it. I should have just kept it.
Proof I was right.
I was correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck the man.
That's amazing. Oh, that must have been satisfying.
Weird accounting lore. Like I get super caught up in like little things like that where it's like I don't need to be right on everything, but the things that I'm like dead set sure on, I'm like, no, I know I'm right. Like the maths, guys. I'll show you a PowerPoint. I'll give you a whole PowerPoint as to each step as to why I got my reasoning. I'm sure that's probably why my bosses hated not all of them, but that's probably why a lot of my bosses hated me so much, because I had such a I was the same way in corporate America. I had such a steely resolve that like if I did all my work correctly and a boss tried to come at me for doing something, I would like Rottweiler her verbally. I'd be like, no, you're wrong. Like, that's wrong. Like, it's
No,
not how
and
it is.
it's more than just a job in that situation though. It's your reputation. That is
Yeah.
what people come to you for. So absolutely, like, go absolutely rabid on someone's throat when you know you're right. Anyway, we are totally off topic here, but I
That's
love it.
okay.
I love it. I love
We
it.
took a path down memory lane in my most boring, organized, definitely
No.
most organized.
No. It's honestly like, and I hate to say it, it's not just an American thing, but it is something that is not talked about as passionately or as often as it should be, because we're talking about like people's lives.
Yeah.
Like one tax return, one form or whatever can literally like hit you hard and ruin you for 5, 6, 7, 10 years.
Yeah, $20,000 bill. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
it can be rough. I haven't experienced that, but I know a couple of people in the industry who that exact thing happened to, or worse. Oh my God, they didn't pay their taxes, which is not like, you can see my visual reaction to that. I'm like, no, like, pay your taxes.
God, please don't stop. No.
Don't do it. No. What was that in The Office? He's like, God, no, no, no.
No. Yeah, that was brilliant. Okay, Exotica. this is something that, yeah, Exotica, December 5th and through 7th, booth 13. This has got to be a little bit fun for you, because it was only like last year where it was a convention that got you on to another level of your career, and now you're appearing as a representative of Exotica. So what does this entail? I have not had the opportunity yet to attend an adult convention. What could someone expect from something like this?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's so adult centric. So of course it's a very sexy event. You're gonna walk in, not only will you see lovely, happy talent like myself, but you'll also see like really cool new merch and like new equipment, new inventions. Like I saw new massagers this year that are not sex toys. They're like full body massagers you stand on and it just vibrates you back and forth. I was like, okay. Like, so getting to see both like some really popular products, but also newer innovations in the space. I like to use the event as a meet and greet for my fans because it's a public event. So I feel safe. I don't feel, funny or threatened being there. But also a great way to like publicize if they want any of my merch, if they want to take a photo with me or just talk to me one-on-one about, yeah, like where are you headed? What do you think you're gonna do? I love having those in-person connections because to me, that means so much more to me than the day-to-day texting. I mean, of course, we all do it. And like in the OnlyFans space, it's very common for fans to chat with you. And that's cool. But to be able to put a face with that name and then knowing that, like, especially this convention, this was my first convention because I just went to Exotica, New Jersey right before this. And it's so cool to like, I recognize that. And then now in the future, my goal is to like keep remembering fans and be that girl that when I see one of my fans, I'm like, hey, John, come right up. Like, come right up. Come meet my other friends at this. And really make them feel like included and involved in the brand versus me just being, back in the day, I feel like 20, 40 years ago, every celebrity before Instagram was so like pedestalized. Again, like the idea of like separation. And I don't want that. I don't want them to feel like I think I'm better than them or whatever. Like, no. You guys have brought me here. Like you guys have put me here. And so like you get to enjoy it with me. I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to happen because I need to get enough fans, but like my idea too was like use these events to like go have a fun time. Like maybe after Exotica, like if they want to come meet me at the strip club with me and my husband, we have a wild night out on the strip club and, they can come or not come, go to the next event if they would rather do a bar night with me or whatever. But like, I really want to like have that interaction with my fans so they feel close to me.
That sounds incredible. It sounds incredibly welcoming and honestly a lot of fun. And who knows, like it's kind of like a diamond in a rough situation, but like you go to an event like this, who knows what could come of it. If you go in there looking to make connections, looking to source yourself out or whatever, like it is possible. It's happened. Clearly, but
Yeah, I mean, in my case, it's so funny. I went to that first XFiz. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go and have a good time. Come out, I'm like, I want to be a porn star so bad. I want to do this so bad. I have to do this. So yeah, you just never know like what's gonna happen at the conventions, and some fun stuff. I mean, I like the fact that they have a Miss Exotica. They have like a pole dance competition. So then on top of like getting to shop around and getting to see all this different merch, you get to watch a show. Like, I think that's cool. I love it.
You're known as author Jade Greene. That's Greene, Greene. And anyone can click on it and check out your merch, as well as Disorderly Conduct, the 3-series book. And is there anything else? Like, I know that you recently featured in a brand new scene put out by the Swaps name. I'm sure you're happy and excited for that to be released and people to enjoy. Do you also have other events or videos or projects on the way that you want to talk about?
So I keep trying to get back with Glory Hole Swallows because that producer is wonderful, and I actually refer girls to him. He's just a fun time. He does a really good job of making performers feel like at ease and comfortable. I mean, he provides really nice facilities for us, so like to get ready and stuff. He takes good care in his work, and I love when producers like care about that. So he's been trying to get me on. I feel bad because I know this trip he was trying to get me in. But he was like, wait, you're running a marathon? I'm like, yeah. He's like, maybe next trip. Maybe next trip. I was like, yeah, sorry, man. I need my energy for the race. But yes, next trip. And then, of course, I've been encouraging fans lately. If you want me to work with a studio I haven't worked with yet, so like a few examples, I haven't worked with Vixens yet. I would love to work with Vixens. I've worked with Reality Kings, and mofos, but not main browsers, and adult time. I would love to work for adult time. And I think I've been an extra on browsers and adult time set. But yeah, I haven't quite yet worked with them. So if you want to see me work with these big studios, I highly recommend that when they ask on X, like they'll ask all the time, who do you want to see us working with? Tag me, Jade Greene Books with the extra E at the end, Greene Books. And they pay attention and they do check us out. And when there's a spot that opens, that's actually how I got onto Hustler. Was I just kept having people recommend me. And I kept gently poking the director, like, hey, like, I'm in town. Like, if not this time, next time. It was gentle because I was like, I'm always going to go out to LA for work. So it's not like I'm in a rush, but it was, of course, presenting the idea. Like, I'd be honored to work for them. And that was such a good shoot. That was with Brad Newman. Very fun shoot. Recommend that one too.
Cool. Awesome. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that we should get it out there? Because the only other note that I have is, why is it in my notes it says petite?
I'm small.
You're small. You're larger than life. How can you be small?
I'm a little female with a big personality.
Take it as it is. That's fine. But
well, you know what? People do. It's weird. People do think I'm a lot taller than I am. And maybe it's the marathon legs, but I have gotten that a lot in person from people that it's like, whoa, you're like way shorter than you look on camera. I'm like, yep, I'm only 5'2", and 105 pounds. I'm itty bitty.
Okay, no, you do your presence, your energy, you're like 6 feet tall.
Oh, thank you. I try.
I really appreciate the time that you've spent with me today, and this was a lot of fun. Again, Jade Greene, Greene, and author Jade Greene is essentially almost everywhere. It was also Jade Greene Books is also a tag of yours.
My ex.
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Oh, thank you, James.
Thanks for making it to the end of this video. I'm Jade the Media Jack. You can check out everything that I do at TheMediajack.ca. Also, merch. Some of you have been buying some of my merch, which is incredible. And have been sending me some photos, which, I mean, check it out. These incredible fans are very happy with the product, and honestly, so am I. All the clothing is very comfortable, and I just got this brand new hoodie with a brand new design on it, inspired by me mishearing a Rob Zombie song's lyrics for decades. The Devil is Annoyed hoodie is now available in the description down below. That's where you can find a link to the merch, or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's right there, just below this video. So thank you for buying some of my incredible merch. You are incredible for doing so. And if you do buy some in the near future, feel free to send me a photo and I'll include you in a video. The executive producer for this episode, yet again, Red Wolf Don, who is a top tier Patreon supporter. And you can get a shout out as well as some discounts on merch by being on Patreon. Sign up. At minimum, it's just $2 a month, but it means a lot to me to know that you want more, you support what I do. Thanks again for watching. Take care.